Elliot, you shouldn't be number 5. Number 4, Charlamagne the God.
Elliot Wilson reacts to Charlamagne the God. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Alize. Don't forget to subscribe. So, fresh off Complex's Hip Hop Media Power List, which divided opinion and got some people upset, including Charlamagne the God. Now, Charlamagne ended up being a number 4 on the list, but he wasn't too happy with the list in general, in particular Elliot Wilson. Now, Elliot Wilson was placed at number 5, and Charlamagne feels like, well, it seems like he doesn't think he should be on that list at all. He spoke about it on his Brilliant Idiots show, and he went in on Elliot Wilson. He said he doesn't want to be that guy in his 50s beefing with people that he wasn't on a list. Check out the clip.
The 2024 Hip Hop Media Power Rankings came out from Complex. Nyla was number 24 on the list. I don't have no problem with the Complex list. Complex put me at number 4. You know, thank you. Anytime I'm acknowledged anywhere, I appreciate it. Elliot, you shouldn't be number 5. Number 4, Charlamagne the God. I'm not trying to be the 50-year-old person still complaining about not being on lists, beefing with screamers, doing goofy, start, online with rappers just to keep my name relevant. No, you know what I'm saying? I respect it. I ain't mad at it. And like I said, Drake hit him to go do that, and he went and did it. He owned the moment. That's why he's number 1. I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like all the great icons, like the Sways, the Big Boys, the Angies, you got to create something else for them, because they are just legendary legacy figures, and they're the reason we're all here. We stand on all of their shoulders.
Yeah, fam. Charlamagne went in. He went in. Now, obviously, we know these two don't get along ever since Elliot apparently called out Charlamagne last year for not collaborating with other podcasters, basically being more open-minded. And ever since then, it's been on like Donkey Kong. But Elliot Wilson has responded to Charlamagne. He went on X and he said this: "I want all the smoke." And he puts a goat emoji there, referencing that he feels like he's one of the goats in his hip-hop media game. He also left a comment under the Brilliant Idiots saying, "F you, Charlamagne." He probably said it in a Rick James voice. And then lastly, he said, "A Hall of Fame career, third mic ninja, crying about my top 5 status. Legacy these nuts. I got great content on the way, 2024. GOAT." So I guess these two won't be exchanging Christmas cards. Now, Charlamagne, in terms of the rest of the list, didn't have an issue with Academics being number 1. But as much as he dissed Elliot heavy, he also kind of said the other veterans on the list like Sway, Angie Martinez, and Big Boy shouldn't be on the list either. He said it in a nice way. He kind of said they should have their own list because they are legends. They paved the way for people like Charlamagne. But the way I interpreted that is also, these guys, they're legends and they don't deserve to be on this list. They should have their own list.
Don't be comparing us to them. Don't put us in no box. And we support everybody. That's one thing about us. If you doing something, we shout you out on our. We give you your flowers. Don't put us in no boxes, man. We no Philly, man. We can't be put in no box.
Gilly from Gilly and Wallow podcast has reacted to the Hip Hop Media Power List. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Alize. Don't forget to subscribe. So Gilly from Gilly and Wallow has reacted, and he hasn't reacted too well to the Complex list. And if you're unaware, Gilly and Wallow actually dropped a few places from where they were placed in 2023. But Gilly is not happy being compared to other podcasters because they are not just podcasters. Check out the audio.
Trying to limit us to just a podcast space. Oh, they a podcast guy. We do concerts. We do boxing matches. What y'all talking about, man? We give away $4 million, getting $5 million in the hood. Y'all know enough fucking podcasts did that? Don't be comparing us to them. Don't put us in no box. And we support everybody. That's one thing about us. If you doing something, we shout you out on our. We give you your flowers. Don't put us in no boxes, man. We no Philly, man. We can't be put in no box. I feel like it's my duty to educate the youth. Because how many can really say they've been through everything in life? Oh, you been to college? I've been to college. You been shot? I've been shot. You been to jail? I've been to jail. Everything you could do out here, I've done it. Anything. From the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's why these young listen to us. And if you know the streets ain't never want no bake on that shit, man. They want you to give it to them raw and uncut, man. That's why they listen to us and they don't listen to the rest of you old.
Yeah, fam. Gilly said don't compare us to nobody. We're on a different plane, a different lane. They do boxing events, they do podcasts, they do basketball events, celebrity ones, not just the podcast. And plus, you know, you hear Gilly going into how because him and Wallow have experienced a lot, they've been to prison, they've been to jail, they've been in the streets, they've been broke, they've been rich. He's saying that there's a lot of insight and information and advice that they can give the youth and just the people in general. And in another clip, he goes in about how there's athletes and musicians and just people in the business that call him on a regular basis for advice about general life that he doesn't speak about. So he knows the impact they're having on people regardless of the Complex list. The Complex did actually give feedback in why Gilly and Wallow had dropped. Is because they didn't have enough viral moments in the last 12 months. In the list that's meant to be just about media personalities, what does a viral moment have to do with that? But I think we all know these lists are kind of like, you can just take it with a grain of salt. They just construct these lists to cause controversy, have people talking, and have people beefing. Obviously, we know Elliott Wilson and Charlemagne have been going back and forth ever since this list came out, saying who should be higher and who should be lower. Well, really, it's Charlemagne saying that Elliott shouldn't be as high as he was on the list. But like most, you just got to take these lists with a grain of salt and not take it so serious. DJ Vlad calls out Nadeska for her position on the Complex media list. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Olize. Don't forget to subscribe. So yes, the Complex media power list, or the individuals moving the needle in hip hop, caused a lot of controversy when it came out, particularly between Charlemagne and Elliott Wilson. Charlemagne didn't believe Elliott Wilson deserved his position at number 5. Well, DJ Vlad has Elliott Wilson on his platform currently. Videos are coming out on a daily basis right now, and they're basically going through the Complex list. And to be honest, Vlad even told Elliott to his face that he doesn't believe Elliott should be 5, maybe more number 8 on the list, which Elliott took pretty well. Well, someone who has come up in conversation who was on the list was Nadeska, who was a former host of Everyday Struggle. She came in about number 19. And Vlad really isn't the biggest fan. He didn't believe that she deserved to be that high on the list. He didn't believe that she should be on the list at all. He kind of went into the fact that she doesn't have much viral moments. She doesn't have a massive platform to herself, and her whole personality, she doesn't move the needle and have epic moments in hip hop. Whereas Elliott Wilson, he somewhat agreed a bit with Vlad, but he kind of was saying how she's like a traditional journalist. She doesn't need to do all that. Her style is old school. And of course, Elliott, who's an old school journalist, would like that. But they both kind of agreed that she shouldn't be in the position she was in on the list. And of course, Vlad wants to start up some trouble. He took to X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and he said this: Elliott Wilson and DJ Vlad agree. Nadeska shouldn't be on the Complex Hip Hop Media Power list. I'm like, damn, Vlad. Kind of a weird tweet to put out there. Obviously, he's trying to promote that his new interview with Elliott Wilson's out there and they're going through the list, but also trying to throw her under the bus. And of course, Vlad doesn't mind a reaction. He probably actually wanted a reaction based on that tweet, and he got one. Nadeska would respond, "Everyday Struggle taught me that all the drama and negativity that comes with competing in rap media isn't for me. I'm cool on the list. Y'all can have it. I can barely even force myself onto social media. Let me just run my slow and steady marathon in peace." Very dignified response from Nadeska. As you would expect, she's a very mild-mannered, cool kind of girl. Although on Everyday Struggle, I've seen her lose her temper a bit with Joe Budden and academics. But after her response, Vlad, of course, had to shoot back again. And he said this: if you choose to put yourself in the public eye, you also choose to open yourself up to public praise and criticism. Now, neither of them actually say each other's name, but we know who you're talking about. And I see Vlad and Elliot's point why they wouldn't put on the list, but I like the fact that a traditional journalist is on that list, where most of that list or some of that list is based on those viral moments, which shouldn't be the measure of you being on a list like that. But what I would say in terms of what Vlad and Elliot were saying, or more Vlad, is that she isn't the most interesting personality out of all of those people. Probably the least interesting. But her style of journalism or presenting is very traditional, and I think it's good to have that diversity. Not those people like, for example, Adam22, who won that big viral moment. It's good to have that calm approach like she has. But that's just my opinion. I want to know yours. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's Fresh Hip Hop Opinion. Peace and love.